World number 3 against the world's number 67. On paper, it looks a formality, but it never always works out that way. Let's join our boys in the box for this one. Joe Johnson, and first up, Philip Studd.
Well, whatever else happens today, it's certainly been a lucrative week for Cao Yupeng when you consider that he's already trousered 20,000 for the 147, another guaranteed 20,000 for reaching the last 4. He's earned nearly 7 times as much this week as he did in the whole of last season when he suffered those 12 first-round exits. But if he's to win today, well, he's going to have to produce something special, because Judd Trump, as we know, capable of doing a lot of damage very quickly. Fast attacking player, likes to get the balls open and get the breaks done and dusted. Cao will play at a more pedestrian pace. But that is tremendous cueing right off the bat.
Yes, and he knew that the cue ball was going into the black, and he played it slowly. There was a lot of thought went into that shot. Didn't leave anything had he missed the red. But this isn't easy. It could have been easier. Such a good shot. Well, it caught the cushion 2 inches before the pocket. I was surprised that this went in. At least 2 inches before.
Brand new cloth, of course, and that usually makes the corner pockets a little bit more welcoming.
Yes, when it's a new cloth, they tend to slide in off the angles if they're played fairly slowly, which that black was. And look at those fancy shoes. I like those.
Yes, and you're not going to miss the waistcoat either, are you, in a crowd? Certainly dressed to kill.
No. He tried to get across the table for the black, but what a superb pot. And showing his intentions that he's not going to just play safe. He's going to attack the balls. I think that's the correct strategy when playing trump. Well, that was a bit pacey, but look where it's finished.
Cao Yupeng.
Not quite a snooker, but happy with that. Good safety from Trump. Got the snooker. Shouldn't be too difficult. Packed tightly bunched.
One scare for Trump, as the guys were discussing in the studio, that late night finish with Elliot Slesser. Trump needed the final frame to get it done. Aside from that, it's been relatively straightforward for him. Whitewash of Robin Hull in the first round. Sam Craigie beaten 4-2. Michael Holt also failed to take a frame off Trump. And then a very solid performance against Stephen Maguire in the quarterfinals. 5-2 the score. Scored well. Played a measured game.
Yes, and as the boys were saying, he has been in a semi-final before. So he is kind of used to this situation. He hasn't been in many. And it's hard to get used to this unless you've been in quite a few, but he's experienced it.
Yeah, the problem is that that semi-final you're referring to was against the man he's playing today, and it was a drubbing, 6-1. The European Masters, which of course Trump successfully retained, beating Stuart Bingham in the final.
He's only made 1 century this week, and it's a maximum. Quite incredible. In fact, he only made 1 century in the whole of last season. He didn't win many matches last season. He won a couple. But if you're losing in the first round of everything, it's difficult to get centuries. But he's made up for it this season with 2 semi-final places.
Trump led the way, on the other hand, as regards century breaks last season with 70. He's already made 36 this season, 3 this week. Very thin edge required.
Not quite that thing.
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump, 4.
And that's why he had the referee have a look at that shot to see if he could hit it. Because it's got to be extremely thin, not quite that much. Right a bit, right a bit. Well, that's where they were, just a little closer to the cushion, as Cao Yupeng suggested. So back a little bit. And that looks to be about right.
Leo Scullion, our marker, gives our referee the thumbs up.
Yeah, that looks about right. Could just clip the end of it. The edge of it, should I say. He's pushed it towards that left corner, but he's covered it. Well, I thought he might have been tempted by this red to the left corner. If he could have spun round the back of the black. And sure enough, he is tempted. Wasn't far away. Didn't want the kiss on the reds, but I think he's got away with it. Just clip the red. Now, the way the balls are here, if he could clip off the reds and hide behind the brown, that would be a good safety. Just would have had to come thin off the pack of reds, play the cue ball down the table. And he could have left that red where it was. And the red's coming back down. A half chance this. The red will go to the right corner. May try and leave that cue ball close to the cushion just in case he misses it. Well, it was certainly a half chance. this pot made a little bit more difficult because the black doesn't go, pink doesn't go, so it has to get back to the blue. That's a great pot. Terrific pot.
One.
Hit it too well, in fact.
Cao's run to the semi-finals has been somewhat more precarious than Trump's. A couple of final frame deciders against Alan Taylor and Daniel Wells, and a whitewash of Tom Ford. But a really good win over Ricky Walden in the last 8 by 5 frames to 3.
Six. Seven.
Coming down for the red next to the black and hasn't quite come far enough. In fact, it's a long way short.
Cao Yupeng, 12.
Of course, he's bound to be weary about playing Judd Trump. A little bit cautious maybe, but quite a while ago, early part of the season, so time to forget about it. It's a good safety, good speed. Had the cue ball been off the cushion, Trump could have taken this red on and stunned round the back of the black, but he can't do that now. So maybe just play the safety, leave the cue ball down here. Well, this table running very fast. I thought he'd underhit that one, but it's got to the baulk cushion. This has got to be really thin, otherwise it could hit the jaws. Yeah, good safety.
Trump vastly more experienced of the business end of these ranking events. This is his 9th ranking semi-final today. And he has 8 ranking titles.
That was how he wanted to hit it. You can always tell that by where the cue ball's finished. And that's another good safety. Cut off the right side of the reds. Coming down the left side, there's plenty of danger. With the pink and that red on the side cushion. So maybe just leave this cue ball down this end of the table again. If he plays this red on the cushion, full ball, he can get the cue ball dead on this cushion. Well, there's a little bit of danger here, coming off 2 cushions, landing up to the reds. If he catches the wrong red, no, it's okay.
A very pedestrian start then to this first semi-final here at the Scottish Open, and that will probably suit Cao rather more than Trump. In that previous meeting that we've discussed at the European Masters, Trump absolutely monopolised the table. Big breaks, 115, 100, 87, 63 and 61. And he'll want to play this match on his terms. He'll want to dictate the pace. If he gets bogged down, then things could become problematic.
Well, that's unfortunate, knocking the pink in. The referee hasn't spotted it yet, but there he goes.
Oh, Cao Yupeng. 6.
Trump invited to play again. Easy enough safety. Play this with a touch of left-hand side. Check the cue ball back down behind the brown. Not hard enough though. Yeah, he doesn't really want to come off that pack of reds. He could push one towards the left corner, but I don't think he's got any choice. Try and get the cue ball in behind the green and use the blue to cover things. Well, decided to go down the other side of the table. And that's worked out nice.
To put it mildly, he very nearly hit the blue there, didn't he?
Which would have been a disaster. Well, that was a very dangerous shot he was attempting. The red behind the black thin. This always looked to be the shot. Get the cue ball back up the table behind the brown. Green.
20 minutes gone. Near as makes no difference. Still 11 reds on the table.
And Cao playing a good game at the moment. Hasn't allowed Trump to see a pot. Probably one long pot that he attempted. Now does this red go just above the pink? Having a look at it. Into the left corner. There it is. There's one below it as well. And that's the one that he attempted. He was up off the shot quick then because he knew he'd missed the pot by a distance. He was up off the shot before the cue ball had got to the red. He knew. Too thin. And there's a chance here. Shot to nothing. Should be able to get the cue ball back down the table. Well, not off that red. I was thinking more off the other red, over the left side. If he plays this one, he's going to have to play it with left-hand side to avoid the reds. Well, that's a great pot. And look at the side on the cue ball. He struck that so well.
One.
And he's unfortunate. Had he missed the green there, look at the side here. Wow. How did he get that much side on? And pot the red. And I'm saying he's unfortunate because had he missed the green, he'd have had a nice angle on the yellow to get back down the table. As it is, this brown is tough to the middle. But a good chance, this. Now, the way that it's been playing, this is a good chance to win the frame.
Six. Well. $13.
Well, I don't think the black goes, but if it does, that's a bonus. It's the wrong side of this red. Wanted to be the other side of the red, so it's going to have to screw back to the cushion and off again for the pink to the middle. Got to get the speed right on those type of shots, and he's done it.
$26.
Such was Cao's dip in form that he fell off the tour entirely last year, but got straight back on via Q School. And he's clearly playing with a lot more confidence now. His results have been far more consistent this season. winning becomes a habit, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely it does. And it's good to see him playing well. I mean, there's quite a few Chinese boys now playing well.
33.
Having said that, he should have pulled this cue ball back low onto this red, so he could have got back to the pink easy. Again, by finishing high, he's got to play that big screw back again. And as I said last time, it could go wrong. Just like that.
34.
But fortunately, the green's there. If you can cue it. He's developed the black, which benefits Judd Trump.
57 the difference, still 67 on the table.
Now, what's the damage? That's what we want to know. What's the damage? He's nudged the reds out.
34.
So that was a bad little nudge for Cao Yupeng. Can play for the pink or black or blue.
One.
This would be a very good clearance if you got this one with the two reds on the left side cushion. Well, that's a good positional shot. He's the right side of the red just to play a little screw back for the black. Or if not, the top spin. He's considering knocking the red out of the left side cushion, but he could do that from the black if he can get. Yeah, first of all, make sure of the red and a colour. You need them. Just checking the scoreboard, because if this went wrong, there'd be 50 points in the game. And he's under-hit it. He wasn't comfortable there on the shot. Didn't really make up his mind which way he was going to go. Well, now he's got a good angle on the red to bring that red out into play by the middle pocket.
11.
Could have done with the cue ball being away from the cushion a little more. It's a tough blue and doesn't want to drift in behind the green. Played it well. Now, can he nudge that red down the cushion? Can he pot this red and nudge the other one? It's risky to play it because he might not be on a colour. He's got the angle to do it, but it's risky to play it.
18.
This was a lot better. Had he got the angle on the black, could have nudged the red out, but he can drop in behind it. So it's going to be all on this shot.
25.
Has to pot the black. Otherwise he needs snookers.
Judd Trump, 26.
And he was a long way off with that one. Obviously had to use a lot of pace to get onto the yellow. So relief for Cao Yupeng, who now is firm favourite for this opening frame. One snooker to tie as things stand.
Well, Cao Yupeng got a chance of his own snooker here, stunning the cue ball in behind the black.
Trump looked quite edgy in his first frame yesterday against Stephen Maguire and said afterwards that he felt it was very, very significant in terms of the way the match panned out. Of course, he won it in the end. Might have lost it. He's not really settled so far this afternoon.
Well,
so the difference now 35, and Trump concedes. Well, it was a 31-minute frame to start with. Not as memorable as Cao Yupeng's waistcoat, that's for sure. But it's gone the way of the Chinese after Trump missed the chance to steal it. He leads 1-0.
Thank you. Frame 2. Cao Yupeng to break.
Our first semi-final here in Glasgow is underway at the Scottish Open, and Cao Yupeng has made the better start. He's taken a lengthy, quite scrappy, tactical opening frame, which lasted more than 31 minutes. Judd Trump did have a chance to make a winning clearance to steal it, but missed the black when he was trying to power it in to get on the yellow. And of course, we're now up to the best of 11 frames, the first to 6 to go through to the title match tomorrow.
Caught that one just a little bit too thick. His safety's got to improve. Not a good safety. Return of safety. Cao Yupeng got the cue ball close enough to the cushion to stop Trump attempting that long red. Oh, that wasn't very far away at all. Good attempt. Now, will it go to the corner? I think it will. So this is a good chance. Black tied up for the moment. As you see, this attempted pot again. He's attacked the ball so far, Cao Yupeng. He may be a little slow, but he's gone for the correct shots. Gone for them when he should have done. Played safe when he had to. Pink's available.
Six.
Now, he could do with getting rid of the reds either side of the black. There's one to the left of the black that's stopping the black going in the left corner. If he could get the cannon and free the black.
$12.
And to hit
13.
it. That wasn't a good positional shot. Well, I didn't think the pink was in. And as it happens, that's not a bad kiss on the green and brown. I think he can get to this long red.
90.
Wow, that was a long way away. Now, how's your luck?
Judd Trump, 19.
Well, that's the kind of miss that's going to affect Judd Trump's confidence, because it's not just that he failed the pot. Look at the distance he missed it by. He's hit it on the wrong side. And that's going to plant one or two seeds of doubt in his mind. And as we know, he's been very candid about it, Trump's confidence on the table is quite a fragile thing. He can start to doubt himself quite early in the piece if one or two things go wrong, and that went horribly wrong.
Yes, but that went horribly right for Cao Yupeng. That was a terrific pot he just got there, screwing off the red next to the black. And he's got perfect position on the blue. And the black will now go into the right corner, I believe. And this is straight away a good chance from that terrific pot he just got a moment ago.
7.
And if you can punish Trump here, Philip's dead right. It will start making him think, and he is a confidence player without a doubt. Wants to get on with things, knocking in century breaks.
Yes, and one of Trump's great strengths, of course, is his long potting ability. It's normally outstandingly good. He's missed all 4 that he's attempted thus far. And he's missed a couple by a worryingly wide margin.
Played this one well.
15.
Could have easily gone up for the green or blue. Trump will be thinking very shortly that this is a different
20.
Cao Yupeng to the one I played earlier on in the year. If he keeps playing like this, good safety, not missing when he's in,
21.
it's going to be very difficult to beat. Now, should go into the pack of reds here. If I can catch them half ball, they should split nicely. Caught them full. Now can you see this red to the right middle?
20.
Looks like he can.
29. $35.
Another very good recovery shot. The red into a blind pocket with the rest. That was certainly missable. Appreciated by this crowd. A little straight on the black. Difficult to get to the next red. Had to leave himself this difficult red along the cushion. And this has to go in, otherwise he could leave it on. Yep, Good pot.
44.
And a nice angle on the black to disturb the reds. This is looking good. He played that so confidently. Could have played up for the blue there, but played for the black to leave this angle. Well, again, he's a little unfortunate not to be on an easier red, I can tell you. Now he's got a red to the corner.
51.
It's missable, but at least he's got something. He's got the red to the right corner as well, but this looks good to get to the black. I wasn't sure.
Cao Yupeng, 51.
No. Judd Trump got an easy snooker. Oh, he's got the pot, a thin pot to the middle.
It was certainly a very good break of 51. He was unlucky not to have an easier red than he was left with, Cao. What can Trump do here? Overcut it. Wow. Another mistake.
I didn't think he could overcut it. He had an easy snooker to just roll up behind the pink.
He's looking a bit uncomfortable at the moment.
One.
Again, he's a little straight on the black. He may have to take the pink. Not much angle on the pink either. So may have to leave himself a long red. Well, did well with the reverse side.
8.
That showed good cue power, that. Well, the way he's playing against Trump, you wouldn't think that
9.
Trump had murdered him the last time they played. 6-1.
He looks much the more composed of the pair, doesn't he? This is only his second ever ranking semi-final. It's a big occasion in Cao's career. At the moment, he looks at home.
Yeah, another good shot. 43
11.
points. The lead just needs the red. And what a great start this is from Cao Yupeng.
12.
This is the guy that only won 2 matches in the whole of last season.
When you're down in the lower echelons of the rankings, there's clearly financial pressure,
18.
and as I've already mentioned, that's been significantly eased this week for Cao. It's been a real bumper week for him already. Could get a lot better, of course.
Cao Yupeng, 18 and a frame.
Judd Trump remains seated. Trump will be concerned with some of the errors he's making at the moment. He looks ill at ease here in Glasgow. Cao Yupeng, quite the opposite. He leads 2-0. Well, it's hardly time to hit the panic button for Judd Trump, but he has looked well below par so far. And Cao Yupeng thoroughly merits his 2-0 lead. He's looked very composed in just his second ever ranking semi-final. He's made a couple of good breaks, including a 51 in the previous frame. He's looking measured, determined and confident.
Yes, remember his first shot of this semi-final. He knocked in a long red, played the cannon to the black. And look at that for a pot. Great pot. In fact, he's hit it too well. But on the yellow to the middle, what a terrific pot that was.
Yes, if it wasn't for that waistcoat, you'd think that was Trump, wouldn't you? He's potted a couple of absolute howitzers already this afternoon from long range.
Yeah, he declared his intentions for me when he took on that long red and sent the cue ball into the black. He's ahead on the pot success.
Three. Cao Yupeng, 3.
So that was a kind of a let-off for Judd Trump from such a terrific red. He only makes 3. And this time that's a better safety from Trump, opening the reds up and getting a good cue ball. This long red, surely too dangerous to take on. But the red behind it, cut to the corner. He's overcut it. He needs a kiss. Well, looks like he's got away with it. And if he's getting the run as well, he's going to be very tough this afternoon. Judd's going to have to be patient. And that's not one of his strongest points. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It's just that he likes to get on with things like that. I mean, most people would have played safe there. Absolutely, they would have done. But look at this for a pot. And that's why we like watching him. Never know what he's going to do. Well, a tricky green, but if he can pot it and get down to this red next to the black. Brave shot, missed the angle. He just caught the angle, which makes this red a little bit more difficult.
4.
Even more so when you're 2-0 down to a player in form. Yeah, good pot.
5.
Well, if he's straight on the yellow, he can get to the red by the black. Yeah, what he needs now, Judd Trump, is a swift reply. Because no player really settles until they win a frame. Doesn't matter who it is. The longer it goes, the harder it gets. Well, he could play the blue and then play the red next to the pink. What kind of an angle has he got here? Does the red go to the left corner?
7.
It does. So he could be in business here. May have to take the more difficult red, the one he's closest to. Now, I think the red That's blocking the pocket for the black going into the left corner. He can just about get that, and he can get to that next red. Which frees the black into both pockets. Anxious looks here. He's held the spot, and that's a disaster.
Yeah, and there's a danger in this sort of situation when you've made a sticky start that you start to think that it's not your day, things are going against you, you're not getting the rub of the green. You can see the disappointment etched all over Trump's face. He has to stay patient and positive.
Yeah, because he knows that he shouldn't have held the spot there. It was so easy just to stun the red down a little bit, stun the cue ball down a little bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if he went for this red into the middle with the frustration. But well played, refusing the red.
Trump, 15.
He's got a good cue ball, but he's brought the red over. He's back in Cao Yupeng's hands again. A let off. Nothing easy left for Trump, but he's delighted to be back to the table. It could have been end of frame.
Cao's turn to be frustrated. He'll be very conscious, of course, that Trump is struggling at the moment. He wants to take full advantage.
Well, his safety hasn't been that good, and his long potting certainly hasn't been good.
And here's a couple of examples. Well, that one was reasonably close. This one was miles away. That's the kind of shot that just makes you wonder what's gone awry. We heard John Higgins talking about how his game malfunctioned during his meeting with Mark King at the UK Championship. But there's another error from Cao Yupeng and another chance for Trump.
Yeah, he got the double kiss, and I don't know how he was going to avoid it. Most of the club players watching would have thought, well, that's a double kiss. And he got it. Here it is again. And could have gone into the reds. But this isn't easy. The pot's not easy and the position's not. Now, will he take that black onto the middle, or will he show patience? If he's right behind it, he could take it on. It has to turn, and it didn't turn. It held true all the way. So a gift for Cao Yupeng. Played it to the top angle, and it stayed there.
One.
Easy black, but difficult to get to the next red where he is. could play it with a lot of right-hand side to check the cue ball back down the table. Like that. And he's played this well if it bounces. Yeah, does the red go? He couldn't. If it goes, he couldn't have placed it any better. Look at that. He's going to screw that cue ball back and across the table again. For the black in the opposite corner. And again, he's played that well. Similar to the shot that Trump had when he held the spot. Had he not held the spot, he would have been in business, Judd Trump.
16. 17.
Still a long way to go in this frame yet. But if he could go 3-0 up, he's in a really good position.
$24.
Now might be able to leave an angle on the black here to go into the reds.
25.
If he could get the edge of either side of the reds, he'd have to be on one. And he is.
$32.
Now that is a let-off. Is he going to get away with it?
Cao Yupeng, 32.
Has he got away with it? I don't think so, but... he hasn't. The right side of the blue. Nicely on the yellow or green. He'd like to get the blue back on its spot. Maybe he's a little straight.
It's become a really important frame now, hasn't it, for Judd Trump? An unexpected error from Cao Yupeng, who's looked rock solid so far.
Well, look at that, Philip. He's overhit that. Can't get to the black. He's got to go back up the table. And this will hurt. If Trump could win this frame, this would hurt.
4.
Wrong side of the blue again.
And it'll hurt Trump if he doesn't win it, because he'll be in a bit of trouble. 3-0 down.
Needs to stay high on the black here in potting this red. So he can play the cannon to the reds. Now if he can play the cannon to the two reds, he should leave himself on the red behind the black. Just like that. But this is a big shot. He couldn't have played this much better. He's not hampered. He's developed them both. So you would say that this red is frame ball. He's got it. Made absolutely sure of the red, which means he may have to go in and out of balk. Make sure of the black. Yeah, he held it well. Helps being left-handed.
22.
That black takes him into the lead.
$23.
Now, what kind of an angle does he have on the black? Can he get to the red? Yes. Not the best positional shot on the red.
30.
Wanted a little bit more angle to come out for the black. Had to really power that one in.
31.
Now, missed the black in the first frame, I think it was, or second. Moving up towards the yellow. And just hard enough.
30.
So he should get his name on the board now. Needs the green.
40.
Well, how significant will that error from Cao Yupeng on the red prove to be at the end of this match? He was very much in the ascendancy. Trump was on the ropes. But he can settle into the match
43.
now. As Cao contemplates what might have been there.
Yes, it's going to hurt that, Philip, without a doubt.
47.
He's taken these well, though. He was under a lot of pressure to win this frame. 3-0 down. And he really would have been under it. But now,
52.
just a frame behind, he can start to relax a bit.
Yeah, because even if he loses the next frame, 3-1 is not a disaster.
The pink is academic. Well, it was a very important miss from Cao Yupeng on the red, but credit to Trump, who's been really struggling to that point. He came up with the break that mattered. 52 to halve the deficit to 2-1. Welcome back to Glasgow. An intriguing first Scottish Open semi-final underway. Cao Yupeng has looked the more composed player for most of it. Led 2-0, and it might have been even better, but he missed a relatively straightforward red with Trump rocking, and it could have been 3-0. Instead, Trump conjured a fine break of 52, and now just trails by a single frame. One more to come before the interval, the first to 6, to face either John Higgins or Neil Robertson in tomorrow's final. Of course, Higgins and Robertson in action tonight from 7 o'clock. Should be a cracker. And this is the red that we're referring to. Relatively straightforward. He was cueing so well. Just overcut it, yeah. And it proved very expensive.
Well, another long red. Missed by Trump. Missed by a long way.
That's 0 from 5 now. Almost unheard of for Trump. It's normally such an asset for him. Didn't even trouble the jaws of the pocket.
Looking at the possible plant. Yep, nice shot, nicely on the black. Already had one maximum this week. He'd have to share the prize with himself.
Yes, he made the perfect break against Andrew Higginson in the first round, a 4-0 win. £20,000 to go with the 147. Big money. Particularly if you're ranked at 67 in the world.
Overhit it. Not ideal on this red. Either red. Well, I think the red to the left corner looks easier.
17.
The wrong side of the blue, but he's okay with the reds down the balk end.
$22.
Well, anxious looks there. Can he see the red? No, can't see the red. So that's a mistake.
It was almost as though it took a few seconds for the realisation that he wasn't on that red to sink in. He just didn't want to accept it.
And it was so easy to get to. The only thing he could do was hit it too slow.
Is the momentum shifting in the early stages of this semi-final? A few moments ago, Cao Yupeng was in for 3-0.
Well, that was a good speed, because any harder and he'd left the red to the right corner. Just got to be patient now, Trump, and play the same game.
I'm sure Cao will be thinking that he deserves a 3-1 interval lead with the way he's played. He's been the better player. But he's got to make it happen.
Well, this is a free go to this red. Just leave the cue ball where the red is. He's on the black with an angle to split them if it does go in. And he doesn't leave anything if it doesn't. Except the red he's playing on, of course. You can never guarantee where that's going to go. Well, that's not a bad couple of kisses. He's straight on the brown to the middle. This could have been a lot worse. First kiss and second kiss there.
Five. Six.
How's your luck? He's okay. Reds to both middles. And another two reds developed.
11.
Turning into a good chance, this, for Cao Yupeng.
He's not a quick player, Cao Yupeng, but
12.
He's an attacking one. Very positive in his shot choices.
Yes, I remember Griffiths talking to me
16.
about the way that he played. And Alex Higgins once said to him, "Why do you play so slow? it's kind of upsetting. And Griffith said, well, why do you play so quick? Because it's kind of upsetting. And everybody has their own pace, don't they?
Yeah, and you've got to play to your strengths, haven't
70.
you? And if you're up against a fast attacking player, then you want to try and rein him in. Play the game on your terms. Cao Yupeng has done that today because he's had most of the table time.
Yeah, and as you say, you know, it's he's not that slow. His average shot time is 25 seconds to Judd's 22.
Yeah, and Judd Trump would normally be around the 15-second mark.
Yeah, he would if he was attacking the balls and scoring heavy. Well, he could have gone into the reds from the blue, but chose to play for the two loose ones. But unless there's a plant there somewhere, he's going to have to go into them. Not quite far enough.
30.
So maybe play it for the blue and split them from the blue this time round. Perfectly played. Just where he wanted it. So it's all on the split. Could have been easier. Didn't quite catch them full enough. Good recovery.
37.
So this brown or green, one more red needed. I was about to say it needs to slow down, otherwise it's going to be hampered
41.
over the blue. This red still needed, but I think he can cue it. Yeah, well played. And he deserves a 3-1 lead, Cao Yupeng.
42.
Judd Trump needs to practice a few long balls, I think, in the interval, because he hasn't got one yet. Attempted 6, missed 6.
Almost unheard of. But the stats don't lie. Cao Yupeng has been in front in every department. Pot success, long pot success.
47.
And his safety's been better too.
40.
Yes, and you could argue that Judd Trump was fortunate to win in frame he won. Had Cao not missed that red in the middle pocket.
Which makes this contribution all the more impressive because Cao has not in any way allowed that miss on the red in the previous frame, which potentially cost him a 3-0 lead to phase him.
Well, did you see that shot there, Philip?
Tremendous.
It had a bit of Trump's whiz on it.
Yeah, he's gone for it. He is an attacking player. He takes his time, but when he's ready to fire, it's always with a positive frame of mind. And he does, as you say, thoroughly deserve the lead he's carved out here. There's still a long way to go, but Trump needs this interval. He needs to regroup.
Nice to finish off with a century, if he could.
68.
Study in concentration. He's thoroughly embracing his second ranking semi-final. It looks as though he's learnt a great deal from the first when he got a bit of a pasting from his opponent today. But he's cueing so well.
Yeah, and he'd like to stay out there now, wouldn't he, Philip?
74.
Yes, and many a time in the past we've seen the mid-session interval completely change the course of a match. Trump will certainly hope that's the case today. He knows he's being outplayed at the moment. But he does have a little more room to manoeuvre because it's now the first to 6.
83.
Just the 1 century from the Chinese this week, the maximum. Ah, shame. It's not to be a second century, but that's been an outstanding session of snooker from Cao Yupeng. So impressive, composed, attacking, determined, and he's thoroughly outplayed Judd Trump so far. A surprise to many, I'm sure, but it is only halfway. There's plenty still to come. And Cao Yupeng in charge here in Glasgow. He leads at the break by 3 frames to 1.
Let's hand back to our commentators, Joe Johnson and Philip Studd.
Certainly no surprise to see Judd Trump on the practice table during the interval. He's looking to find a spark here, and he's more than capable, as Ronnie said, of putting together a whole batch of frames in no time if he can find that confidence again. I think that's been rocked a little by the errors he's been making, particularly from long range. And not just the fact that he's missed his long pot so far, all 6 of them, but 1 or 2 he's missed by a worrying margin. But take nothing away from this guy, he's played exceptionally well.
Well, he was down a long time on the shot there.
1.
But he played it perfectly. Got the cue ball where he wanted it, just before the balk line. But that cue ball wasn't close enough to the cushion, you've got to say, from the break-off. Left the red sticking out. Yes, he did go to the practice table. Mid-session interval. Knocked a few long balls about. Came down to see if the red next to the black would go. Looks like it will from here, but from down there it may not. So if he could get the right side of the blue here, he could split the pack. And who knows, he could win the frame from the break-off. That's what the top players do. Well, pink must go. The only problem with the pink is it's difficult to get to the next red if those reds don't go next to the black. Well, he's developed one with all that topspin on the cue ball. Nice little kiss on the yellow. Leaves him with the perfect angle on the green to go into the reds. I thought he would have gone into the reds there. Had the perfect angle to do so. See, normally this type of game of just getting the reds what are there and then playing the safety wouldn't be enough to beat Trump. Got to attack the balls and try and win the frame at that visit, because you may not get another chance. And again, it's run safe. When you miss those type of shots, then, you know, you're entitled to leave them. It's gone safe. Well, I've just got a glimpse of the two reds above the black, and they look like a plant to the right corner. So he could have played for that plant. Tried to open the reds up off that shot, but just pulled one red out. These reds, when they're close to the cushion like this, it's so easy to catch them thick or miss the ball. Very difficult to play safety off. But that's as good as he could have got.
Judd Trump's pot success rate is still in the 70s. Much healthier for the Chinese. Can you see this red over the left corner? If you can, then the black goes, blue goes, yes, right through the middle. Now let's have a look at this long pot. Yep, struck it nicely.
One.
And that'll be a mighty relief for Trump, the first he sunk from range.
Oh, very nearly knocked the red in. And he's not safe yet, because he's got to play the red onto the red. Look how close this red was. That would have been the writing on the wall had that gone in. Well, this is difficult to get position from hitting it direct. If he plays the red onto the red and plays it at pace, he's on the black, the red comes out of the way. Well, he's left that very awkward, bridging over the red.
This is the kind of day that Trump's having, isn't it? That nothing, even when he's been at the table, has been routine. That heavenward glance sums up his mood, I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, Philip, he could have played the other red onto the red. It was a simple red onto red. That's a good recovery, though. That was awkward cueing. That was very missable. But now that he's got that, keep the cue ball under
60.
control. And he should be okay. Knocking a big break.
70.
His highest so far, his only break so far, the 52 that he made to win the third frame after Cao Yupeng missed the red to right centre. And that may ultimately still prove to be a very significant frame because, as the guys were saying at the interval, when you look at the stats,
25.
it could and perhaps should have been 4-0. So to come out 3-1 wasn't a bad result, all things considered.
Under hit it slightly.
32.
Red goes, so he could screw back for the blue. And that is guaranteed. Had he played the run
33.
through for the black, could have gone wrong.
$30. $39.
And he's got some safe reds in case he does miss. Going to be hard for Cao Yupeng to clear the table. 30 points the lead.
46.
Got to miss the red.
47.
Well, he's on the pink, but has he ruined that red?
Yellow ball.
Yeah, nice shot. He's developed the red.
$49.
Oh, what a fine shot that was. But he hasn't been lucky. He's blocked
50.
the pocket with that red. He was nicely on the black. Things just not going according to plan for Judd Trump.
It's a real test of patience, this match, isn't it, for Trump?
That was a great shot to the middle. Good shot to develop the red. But now maybe time to put a ball safe.
34 his advantage, still 59 available to Cao.
Well, looks like he can play the green safe. But of course he wants to get the cue ball to the cushion. And to do that, he brings the green too far away from the cushion. Well, that was a strange shot to play. Could have knocked the red in.
50.
But it's worked out okay. It's going over the pocket. Can Trump see it? Can't see it. And he's going to have to take that long red on. If he plays to land up to the red off the cushion, could go in off. It is a big pocket. Now he's playing the other red. And he's left the red, so it's in Cao Yupeng's in hands now. Big frame.
One.
Well, that red next to the blue, it may go to this left corner. And if it does, he's got a nice angle on the green to drop in behind it. No, don't think it does. And he's taking the black anyway. Good pot. But then he's got two awkward reds after this one. So it's important it leaves a nice angle on the black to get to the red. Nothing for being straight. Yes, he's got the angle. Well, he didn't want to kiss it, he wanted to come past it. And that could be end of break, unless he takes the red onto the corner, which is dangerous. Well, that was really dangerous. And look where the red's gone. He had no idea what was going to happen to the red, and he's unlucky for it to have finished over the pocket. But then he could have been lucky had he got it safe. I thought that was the time to play a good safety and keep Trump under pressure. He got very close to it.
It's looking like being all about that final, currently awkward red, welded to the blue.
Well, he's left an angle on the black to play a cannon to the red. But if he's going to miss it, he has to miss it on the right side. Otherwise, he'd be snookered if he missed it on the left side. I don't think the red goes. I got a glimpse of it. I don't think the red goes. But he might be able to play the snooker. Well, his body language is saying that this has gone all wrong. I don't think that goes. He's right behind the shot, though. And he would know. He's got it too much. He's got the snooker, but he could have potted it.
8.
Played it with a lot of right-hand side on the cue ball to create the potted angle. I'll be disappointed that that didn't go in then.
Cao still in a lot of trouble here, though. 26 points behind, the red right over the pocket.
Yeah, not difficult to hit, but where it goes, he's not going to know. And if he plays it hard and misses it, he leaves the red on. He couldn't have hit it much better. Now there's nothing safe. So, looks like it's red ball game. Chance of a snooker here for Trump. Yeah, without the kiss, it would have been a snooker. Trump only needs, well, if he pots a red, he can tie Cao Yupeng. I don't think he went for the pot. Went for the snooker. Not quite. Changed his mind down on the shot. Looks good. Has it just come out? Yes, I think he can hit it, but he's sending the red towards that right corner. This is dangerous.
What a big difference this frame is going to make. Judd Trump might only be 1 behind. Equally, he could be 3 behind, and Cao will be just 2 from victory. Big moments in this first semi-final.
Well, he could go for the pot here. For me, I would go for the pot. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball to try and get the cue ball in behind the colours. Could be the snooker. And that's what he's gone for. Now has he got the snooker? Not quite. And Trump will be pleased to see the blue go closer to the cushion. plays this with a touch of right-hand side on the cue ball, he might be able to get the cue ball behind the black. Got the double kiss. And he's happy. Well, this has got to be close. Well, you tell me. Can he get through there?
Well, Trump just inviting Cao Yupeng to have a look in case this goes wrong.
Yeah, because he could hit the brown or yellow. Yes, and very fair of Trump to invite his opponent to have a look.
It's another very long frame, but it's so important. Cao willing the cue ball to disappear behind the yellow and the brown there.
He's caught that all wrong. And Cao Yupeng gets his chance. Yellow's awkward now, so he could play the cannon to the brown in yellow. Blue's awkward. Caught that much too thick. He was playing the cue ball where the red is. Missed them. It was a big target, that.
One.
Yeah, but disappointed that he missed the yellow and brown there. It was very close. Look how close he was.
Difference is 25 now.
Blue ball. Cao Yupeng. One.
Well, brought the blue into play and got the snooker. Worrying times these for Judd Trump. He's got to catch the yellow half ball, miss the pink, and pot the yellow. Very close.
Goodness, if that had dropped, it would have been an absolute hammer blow for Cao Yupeng, but it stayed on the lip.
Now, how much of the yellow can he see?
He'll be relieved he can see any of it, because it looked as though it might disappear. What a fluke that would have been. Would have been a frame winner.
Yeah. He can only double kiss this in. And there's no guarantee of being on the green. There's no guarantee of the pot. It's easy enough to pot that with the double kiss, but it's difficult to get to the green because you can't play it too hard, otherwise it might stay out. So you've got to play it soft. And he played it hard to try and come out for the green, and that's what I said. If you play it hard, it can stay out. He's got away with it, though. Hasn't left it.
Trump, remember, only needs the yellow, and Cao will need a snooker.
Well, he's nodding his head, but he's got a good chance of the snooker here. But you've got to make sure the yellow's safe. Just a little stunning behind the blue and let the yellow come onto this side cushion. Or you could play it fuller and just come off the black cushion and leave the yellow halfway up the side cushion. But the most important part of this shot is getting the yellow safe, not the snooker. Snooker's a bonus. That's the shot for me. Leave the yellow halfway up that cushion and snooker in behind the blue. The important part of the shot's the yellow. Nearly played it too hard. Trump would love to see one of these colours safe. Did well to miss the black, and that's a cracking safety. That's a great shot.
It's another area where Cao Yupeng has held sway over Trump this afternoon so far.
Although he has got better, Trump. Oh, nowhere near hard enough. Nowhere near hard enough.
Foul and a miss. Cao Yupeng, 4.
This is now the longest frame of the semi-final, and undoubtedly a potentially pivotal one.
And that was a clever shot from Cao Yupeng. He knows that Judd Trump would have landed up to the yellow next time round, wouldn't have left it on, whereas this way, he has no idea what's going to happen to the balls.
And there was very nearly a coming together there of cue ball and yellow, which might have been fatal.
Well, he may have to go for the pot here, into this right corner pocket. There's the frame time, 33 minutes. Patience. And another fine safety shot. Well, again, this is trouble for Trump. He can see it, but he may have to play a slight swerve. And from there, he's not sure what's going to happen. a chance for Cao Yupeng. But he's going to have to play it a little slower than he likes to be able to stay on the green. That was a chance. So, good chance of the snooker here. Cue ball in behind the blue, yellow in behind the black. Another very good safety shot from Cao, and he's winning the safety battle. Well, he can't afford to play this hard if he's playing to get out of the snooker off the cushion. He's got to just land up to it. And he mustn't miss it on the left side. So the 4 points for Cao Yupeng.
Cao Yupeng, 4.
Well, didn't have it put back last time, but I think this time it goes back.
Judd Trump is going for his 18th ranking final appearance. That must feel like a long way off at the moment. There's Leo Scullion, our marker. Yeah, that looks right to me.
So, slight adjustment. Missed it again. That's closer.
Nice. Cao Yupeng, 4. Marek, that way. Check.
Yeah, just the right speed as well. Won't be too bothered about the 8 points that he gave away.
It's all about the yellow, isn't it? Everything else is out in the open.
It's a good effort. It's a good effort, and he knows it. Trump knew it. He was looking up to the Evans as he saw the cue ball going in behind the black.
Yeah, that was great, because Trump thought, oh, no, look what I'm going to be faced with. But at the same time, applauding the quality of Cao Yupeng's safety. He's played some terrific tactical stuff on this yellow, keeping Trump right under it here, turning the screw, playing like a veteran. And remember, this is only his second ever semi-final, barely won a match last season. It's been quite a renaissance for the Chinese, hasn't it? Looks to be thoroughly embracing one of the biggest occasions of his professional career.
Foul. No miss. Cao Yupeng, 4.
Cue ball grazed the brown as well, so that needs adjusting. What a terrific safety that was.
A little more. A little more.
Leo Scullion earning his wage.
Yeah.
Second attempt. And this time he hits it, and he flukes the snooker. Can be a cruel game at times, this. Cao Yupeng plays a great shot, and he's snookered out of that great shot.
And could that possibly be a turning point in the fortunes of Judd Trump this afternoon? He's been really up against it so far today. He needed a bit of luck, frankly, and he's got it with interest.
Yeah, not difficult to hit this, but where it goes and how he hits it, he's not sure. Yellow could go in the middle, could go in the corner, could miss it. He could leave it. It's close. It's close.
Unbelievable. Judd Trump flukes a snooker out of a snooker. Cao Yupeng flukes a pot out of a snooker. I mean, that's a 1 in 1,000, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder why I said it then. It's because I've seen it happen so many times.
Cao Yupeng, 2.
Well, the only good news for Judd Trump was that Cao wasn't on the green, but he's back in charge of the table again.
Yeah, and again, I think he's just got to land up to it. Good shot. Good shot. Could be in trouble. Next shot in behind the black. Doesn't want to bring the green too far off the cushion.
This frame now into its 44th minute.
And only 7 points in the game now. Well, he's got a good green, but didn't get the follow-through with the cue ball. Played the stun run-through. Oh, what about that for a shot? I can't tell you how good a shot that was. A stun, run through to the cushion and off again up behind the blue. That was one of the best shots in snooker. To control the green as well, I might add.
Trump is being put through the ringer here. He will be a mighty relieved man if he emerges from this frame just 3-2 behind.
Yeah, I fancy him to win the match if he wins this frame. But if he loses it, I think the disappointment will hurt. And from what I've seen so far, he's second favourite in this frame, even though he's leading. No attempt at the pot. Just trying to get that cue ball in behind the black again, but concentrated on the green, and that's the important thing. I'll send the green down to the black and maybe get in behind the blue. Well, that's just as good if he gets a snooker. In fact, it's probably better because he's guaranteed to have the green safe.
And so the duel continues on the colours.
Well, surely in behind the black and use the pink to snooker him. That looks good. So now Cao Yupeng, that's snookered. And there's a possibility of the north here. Could go in off in the green pocket if he catches it half ball. Well, his long potting hasn't been too good.
It's 20 minutes ago since we saw the last red disappear. This is a chance for Trump to close the gap to one frame.
Not easy, though. That's a good pot, but the reason I say it's not easy is because he's got to do it again and again.
Yeah, and this is a tougher pot.
Doesn't have to go for it. Doesn't have to go for it. Various ways of playing the snooker.
2 out of 9 today from distance, Trump.
Absolutely, and I think that's the right shot to play because you don't want to be playing nearly an hour and then losing the frame on one pot.
These are the kind of frames that leave you mentally drained. If you come out on the wrong side of them, whoever wins it will be absolutely delighted.
Well, again, he's got choices here. Could play the double, try and get the cue ball in behind the blue. He could play to get the cue ball in behind the blue, put the brown safe. Cue ball in behind the black. And that's a good attempt. And the good thing about that shot was that it was guaranteed to get the brown safe. Both players giving it their everything on this safety.
It just feels like almost the decisive frame of the semi-final. It won't be, of course. It's the first to 6, but were Trump to lose it, it will be an awful long way back.
Well, said it earlier. It's so easy to either hit them too thick or miss the ball. When the object ball's close to the cushion like that, it's very difficult. And this has got to go back. There's no doubt about that. There's got to go back. He can't play it from there.
Black on the spot.
It's been a gruelling frame for the players and for the officials.
Black didn't move.
Just needs to go to the right a little more as Leo Scullion.
Yeah, right. The referee moved the black originally and he never touched the black.
Yeah.
This is where they were, and this is where they are. Yeah. Well, it's close enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, will he play the same shot? Thin, off the brown. Could hit it too thick this time. Well, I couldn't have played that one, but he's done it. Played it okay. But again, a chance of the snooker here for Judd Trump. It's got to be close. Unfortunate with the kiss. But the black is safer. And Cao Yupeng needs it.
Trump needs brown and blue. We're now into our 53rd minute. Not often you see Judd Trump involved in a frame like this.
Well, he's giving it everything, isn't he, Phil? Now, is this brown cuttable? It is. And what a shot that was. And look at the cue ball. It's coming out for the blue. What a great shot that was from Cao Yupeng.
And is the fact that the black was pushed that little bit safer going to be significant now? What a frame. What an absolutely critical frame this is.
He was unfortunate there, wasn't he, Trump? Kissing the black with the brown and leaving the brown on. He got the snooker at one stage.
Looking concerned, and no wonder. But that black that the brown did kiss to leave Cao this chance is trickier than it was before. Oh, goodness me. Only just. Only just. Cao Yupeng has aged a couple of years there in the space of a few seconds.
I do not know how that's dropped. But because it has, he's got the perfect angle on the pink to get to the black.
All he can do is sit there and hope. Well, it's been an extraordinary frame, this. It's lasted nearly 54 minutes now, and it's come down fittingly to the final black. The difference between 4-1 Cao and 3-2. Big, big moment in this semi-final. And he's missed it.
And he's got safe-ish.
50.
Yeah, had he got the double kiss, which he'd nearly got, it would have been an absolute gimme for Trump. As it is, plenty of pressure on this.
Oh, well, would you want to be taking this?
What drama here in Glasgow.
Well, you wouldn't want to be taking this, would you? This is so difficult.
He's got it. Wowee. And look what it means to him. Judd Trump with a double fist pump. That was a monumental frame, and it could be the difference between victory and defeat for Trump as he closes the gap to 3-2. Well, high drama here with Cao Yupeng missing what would have given him a 4-1 advantage. And what a pot this is from Trump. And look at the reaction. And again, not the most demonstrative of characters, but that meant a lot. And no wonder that frame lasted nearly 55 minutes. It was absolutely crucial for Trump to win it. Now, what impact is that going to have on Cao Yupeng? He's a very calm, cool customer, but he's got to be hurting inside, having put so much into that frame, Joe. And he's got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that's right. But what's it going to do to Trump? It could just spur him on now. Well, this is the beauty of snooker. There are so many facets to the game to enjoy. We love seeing the raking long pots and the big breaks and the total clearances, but a frame like that, lasting the best part of an hour, every bit as compelling. And both players gave it absolutely everything, didn't they?
The safety duel was of such high quality, and the pendulum swung from one way to the other constantly, didn't it? One player in charge, then the other.
Yep, never knew who was going to win it. Came down to Cao Yupeng at the end. Well, I don't know what he played there.
Well, he'd be forgiven for still dwelling on what's just gone down. Perhaps his concentration a little frazzled right now. That would be entirely understandable. It was a tough black that he missed, but it wasn't as tough as Judd Trump's. That was a tremendous pot, and so was that. That's more like the old Trump from long range.
Yeah, and he's going to go straight into them here. But I think Cao Yupeng played the pot to the middle there, and he missed it by about 2 foot. Because he didn't play the safety. Cue ball cannoned the black. So just looking to see if there's any plants there. Doesn't want to send a red into the pocket. Full in the face on the pink. Well, they've split nice if he's on one.
6.
Now, does this red go to the left corner?
There's your answer.
7.
And you do feel as though the momentum has shifted quite dramatically in the last few moments.
Well,
suddenly has that spring in his step again, Trump. He's looked ill at ease for a lot of the afternoon. He's been under a lot of pressure right from the off. But he did show a lot of composure, a lot of patience in that frame, which on many occasions looked as though it would go against him. And ultimately he was rewarded, but what a black it was.
17.
Yeah, he fought hard in that last frame. There's no doubt about that. Look at this black again, and look at the reaction.
Well, that's tough at any time. Never mind when you've simply got to pot it to keep your Scottish Open hopes alive.
He's a little unfortunate with the black and pink being safe. Got to concentrate on the blue and bought colours. But at this moment in time, he won't be bothered if he has to take 15 yellows. As long as he wins. And that's not the best shot. The red's easy enough. But the colour, not quite so easy. May have to take the red to the... Well, he is doing the red to the middle.
23.
Now, leave a nice angle on this long red.
Just to give you an idea, that previous frame, the all-important fifth, lasted longer than the previous three put together.
$29. $34. $35.
Too hard for the blue. And he could leave the cue ball. Well, I was going to say somewhere near where the yellow is. He'd have a nice angle to pop this red closest to the left corner and get back to the blue. Where he's left it, it's difficult to get back to the blue now from either red. Well, 38 is a good break so far. And if it did happen to miss, with the black and pink still tied up, it's a good lead. Too much side on the cue ball. There it is again. Look at this. Look at the side on the cue ball. Too much. Well, I'm not sure if this is worth taking on. Can he get to a colour? Oh, he's found the gap between everything, and he certainly didn't deserve the in-off. He didn't get it.
Yeah, and he's found his confidence again from his favoured long range.
Look at the gap he found there between the reds. Well, we had an hour's frame, the last one. We're looking at a very quick one here. The reds keep disappearing. Well, he's been close twice there, hasn't he? Even affords a little smile.
Still 67 available.
Well, didn't want to be that far towards the cushion, but he's left himself 55. A chance at this red. But what a good lead with the black and pink tied up.
Yes, and this red and a mid-value colour would be enough.
Yeah, good shot. Terrific shot.
56.
How good has this break been? He just looks like a completely different animal now, doesn't he?
Well, I honestly can't believe that he's got to the winning stage of this frame the way the balls were placed. Not a black or pink in the break. Needs a bounce.
60.
He's over the winning line, though, barring snookers. This to make sure. What a turnaround.
Incredible break.
Well, Trump has shown his class in the last 15 minutes or so. That very tough black. And now a superbly crafted break. This has been surgeon's precision. Far from ideal, with the high-value colours out of commission. But he's engineered it beautifully.
67.
Disappointed not to develop the black, but it doesn't matter. This frame is done and dusted, and he's going to be level.
Green ball.
He's back all right.
And the crowd absolutely loving this.
70.
Pots coming from everywhere.
Further evidence, should it be needed, that this game
71.
is played between the ears.
Oh, look. Tried to catch the red half ball.
76.
So calling all pockets.
Yeah, if he'd made a century there, Judd Trump, I think it would have been the finest of the tournament and one of the best of the season, but he'll make do with a quite outstanding break of 76. He is right back in the picture now. We're level pegging at 3-all.
Thank you, frame 7. Judd Trump.
Our first Scottish Open semi-final has a very different complexion now. A huge fifth frame, which went the way of Judd Trump, courtesy of that tremendous, decisive black, and then a brilliant break of 76. Not a brilliant break off, but he's level now at 3-all. And it's Cao Yupeng's time to try and regroup here, absorb what has happened to him in the last couple of frames, and go again. He's still very much in the match, of course. It's now a best of 5 for a place in the final.
Yeah, he's got to hit straight back. This is the break off. Caught the reds too thin. Cannon in the blue. Well, Trump delighted he's playing the safety. Hasn't paid the price for that break off. No easy path back to balk without risking the cannons. He's thought about coming up into the reds, just landing up into the reds. They could leave the cue ball down this end of the table. And he found a path. And this time it's Trump's turn to have a little bit of luck. Could have left that red on very easily.
Yes, and when you start to play much better, as Trump has, that often happens. When you're struggling, the luck is out.
Well, it was worthwhile taking on. He was on the blue. And this long straight red, so tough. It's just off straight, but very tough. Great shot. What? Great shot. And I think he's on the black.
At one stage, Judd Trump was 2 for 9 from long range. He's potted his last 4 out of 4. And once again, earlier in this match, when Cao was on top, having taken on that red, you can bet your life it would have gone away from the pocket. Instead, he left it for Trump. It was tough, but he stroked it in, and now he's got a chance.
Well, he just looks a different human being now. But can he get the black? Yep, he can. What he's looking at is, if he screws it back, he's eating the red. And it looks like he is, unless he pinches a little bit on the pocket. He can pot it. It's the cannon he's bothered about.
$60.
Well, that's a let-off, Cao Yupeng.
60.
He was undecided whether to take that one to the middle or the other one to the corner. Chance of the double beyond on the blue. Cue ball tight to the cushion. Well, that's another good safety from Trump. The red to the right of the pink. Difficult to play safe off that one. Although he could play that red and leave the cue ball on the black cushion. Too thick. Now, has he had a bit of luck? Yep, he's been fortunate. Although he could be in trouble again next shot. Could send the cue ball into the baulk area and hide that red with the yellow.
and a miss.
How far is it going to come out of balk? He's left the red on. And things not going for Cao Yupeng anymore. Still a difficult table, this, though, with the pink and black tied up. He's missed it. It sounded a little kicky.
Yeah.
Might be time to switch to the new chalk.
Just what Cao Yupeng needed. But the same applies to Cao Yupeng. It's a difficult table. He could try and disturb something. I think he may have the angle on the brown to try and disturb the reds, develop the pink. It's a risky shot to play. Well, it needs to stop, otherwise he's out of position.
5.
I think he can get the red to the left corner.
Six. Nine.
Cao Yupeng's miss black at the end of that marathon fifth frame felt like a major turning point in this match, and perhaps the kick that Judd Trump just got on the red is another one. Cao was beginning to look exasperated with the way the match had turned. Trump very unlucky to get the bad contact, which led to this opportunity. How many can he make from it?
Ten.
And this is the kick in question. Hitting it thick as a result, definitely cost him the pot. And who knows how many more thereafter.
Well.
Well, I'm not sure if the black will go into the left corner, but if it does, then it could try and get on that red just above the black. No, it doesn't go. Don't think so anyway. He's got the angle on the green to try and disturb something or keep playing up for the little colours. Well, it will go now when he's taken this red.
16.
best red on the table to play for that. And now the black goes. I didn't think that red was in.
17.
Look at this. Hit the far jaw by a long way there. Well, the wrong side of the table to get to the black.
19.
Well, it makes it easier to get to that red just above the black and to the right now, which leads to the black. And it can get there from the yellow. Needs a big bounce. And that's a good shot from Cao Yupeng.
22.
And that can lead him to the black now. And he should be in business, and he's done some hard work in this break.
23.
For 23 points.
Cao Yupeng giving this break absolutely everything. It's exactly what he wanted to restore his equilibrium, having lost the last 2 frames. And the 5th one in such disappointing circumstances, missing the deciding black.
Well,
30.
Once again, is the wrong side of this red, so it needs an accurate positional shot. Going to come back across the table for the black. And that is pretty good.
31.
Well, when he came to the table, it didn't look like he was going to win the frame from it, but it's looking like that now.
39.
Well, this is the shot that cost him a 4-1 lead. He may have thought he had a reprieve when he didn't get the double kiss, but what an excellent pot it was from Trump to follow. But this now, an opportunity to move 4-3 in front. Ooh, it was a bit jawish, but it dropped.
Yeah, and he's not on the red as he wanted. You've seen those stay out as well. Just 22 points in the game. Now, there's a couple of ways of playing this. He could just drop it in and send the pink towards the right corner. Or he could screw back down the table, play for one of the baulk colours. Good pot. And the two reds by the pink spot. I think one of them will go. Well, I think both of them will go.
6 out of 7 now with the rest from Cao today. Remember, all 43 of these points and counting, the result of Judd Trump's kick.
.46. But
it's been an excellent break to this point.
As good as Trump's in the last one, you'd have to say. Well, I wouldn't even consider playing that red behind the black. I could have played better onto this red. 34 points the lead, so
54.
just the red needed because it'd be on the pink. And this has been a great break, as Philip said. You know, he took some getting this. And this match really has livened up in the last 3 frames. We had that long frame, which was, well, it was great to watch. Great safety and everything. But then we've had 2 frames where it's been 61. Big breaks.
Well, Cao Yupeng left the red for Trump, walked away and looked utterly forlorn. He could never have expected Trump to get a kick straight away. Here is the kick. And who knows, had Trump not suffered that misfortune, all of these points could have been his. But it has been an outstanding break. A great response to losing the previous 2 frames. 41 the difference, just 35 there. 2 snookers required, and I think Trump's in one. And I think that's enough to persuade him that he's had enough of that frame. It certainly has. Well, another twist in this extraordinary tale then, as Cao Yupeng recovers his composure and moves back in front at 4 frames to 3. Judd Trump under pressure again. He's fallen behind once more at 4-3. He was unlucky to get the kick, but what a break Cao Yupeng made thereafter. Superb 61 to carry him back into the lead, and within 2 frames of a first ever ranking final appearance. Just a reminder that the second semi-final, which is eagerly anticipated, starts at 7 o'clock this evening. Neil Robertson up against John Higgins.
Don't miss it. Well, he's missed that, and he's also left it. So he's going to be sat down again. For how long?
One. Six. Seven. 12.
So he could play down for this red by the black, but it's a good chance to go into them from the blue. Well, he's played down for the black, but I just felt that he should have split them there. Will he get another chance? And it's not a good ball
18.
to split them from the black. It could work out well for him.
$19.
Well, nearly missed the red. But he has got an angle on the black. But whether he can go into them at the pace required to develop them. Well, he might finish on one if it keeps running.
26.
I think he spied a plant into the left corner. 3-ball plant. But, yeah, it's set to the pocket, but if he hits it wrong, he'll miss this. As he's looking at it, he's got to hit it to the right. As we're looking at it, to the left. So he's got to play this fairly full ball, red onto the reds. Yep, good shot. And look where the cue ball is.
27.
Oh, it needs it to slow down. Has it rested on the black?
32.
Can he get it? I don't think he can get that one, but he can get the other.
$33.
I thought he was short of pace again, but he's perfect. And the reds below the pink may go into the right corner.
$38. $39.
He's right back in the zone again now, isn't he? This opportunity, the result of Judd Trump going for a long red, which he'd started to get, and then leaving it.
Yeah, that kick's changed everything, hasn't
46.
it? The confidence has suddenly gone. And now it's Cao Yupeng, who needs to do something wrong
47.
in order for Trump to get another chance. This is the pot. Missed it thin. And sometimes you get away with it, but he didn't on that occasion.
Oh, wow.
Well, I said he has to do something.
Cao Yupeng.
And that was it. He's missed the black off the spot. Simple black.
And Trump out of the blocks there like Usain Bolt. Couldn't believe that he got another opportunity.
Well, nothing easy, is there? Could have been something easier. He got the double kiss.
Big shot this.
Well, what a great shot. And even if it rolls past the green, that was still a great shot.
Tough cueing, not much of the pocket to aim for.
Just the snooker then.
Judd Trump, 1.
But back in the game. It was looking for all the world there, that Cao Yupeng was going to take this frame. He'd them 2 easy reds over the middle, one behind the pink. And he was just playing it with a touch of right-hand side on the cue ball. And I can't believe that he missed this black. Look at this, it was just a simple black running through the 2 cushions. Fortunate kiss on the black.
Well, he missed one in the 5th frame, which proved to be very costly. It remains to be seen how expensive that miss will be. But of course, had he potted it, he might be over the winning line by now and 2 up with 3 to play.
I think the fortunate thing there for Cao Yupeng is that there's now going to be a bout of some form of safety play. Had Judd Trump gone on and won the frame there, he would have been in bits, but time to recuperate. He's still in trouble. Oh, well, that's a great escape. Delighted with that. Possible red to the right corner. He wants to take the red onto the baulk corner into the yellow pocket, but it's too dangerous. Great pot.
1.
And just the right angle on the blue.
Terrific pot.
Red below the pink goes. Needs a big bounce. And may be able to develop the other red next to the pink. Let's see what kind of an angle he's got. Yep, he can just touch it.
Seven.
So he can get himself back in this game at the very least. At the best, he can win it at this visit.
12.
And what a turnaround it would be.
Another one.
13.
It's been a real saga, this match, hasn't it?
Got
Lots
the
of
angle.
twists and turns.
Sorry. He's got the angle to drop in behind these 2 reds. Well, he's not hard enough for the easy red, or the easier red.
19.
And the one closest to the cushion is difficult. This is missable. Now that's a terrific pot. Terrific pot at that speed down the cushion. Well, that took some bravery to go for that at that speed. And only 20 points in the game now.
26.
This is a big shot. Yeah, great shot. Took the risk on the in-off.
27.
Now he's got a good angle on the blue to come in behind this red. Doesn't want to cannon it. Well, he could have done without the cannon, and now it's difficult.
32.
Not this time. And the kiss hasn't been kind.
Judd trump, 32.
That was a tough pot to take on. But a gift for Cao Yupeng. He's 14 points in front. It's a long way off. But it's the double kiss that's done for him.
One.
So it doesn't look as though the miss black from Cao earlier in the frame is going to be expensive after all. Trump's luck is still out. Got the kick, of course, which got Cao right back in the picture again. And then that double kiss.
So needs the yellow and green. He was unfortunate, Trump. When he potted the blue, he just clipped the red. Had it come past the red, it would have been a little easier down the cushion, left-handed. Yeah, good shot, and
10.
Just the green needed for a 5-3 lead.
And just one away from a first ever ranking final appearance. Well, he has a terrific temperament, Cao Yupeng. He's recovered exceptionally well from the disappointment of losing that fifth frame. He's very wet behind the ears when it comes to
70.
big matches like this, but he's shown a lot of composure.
Yeah, he's been a little fortunate as well, because when Trump missed, he left him
22.
such an easy ball to win the frame from.
Yeah, Trump had started to play very well, but he's had a couple of bits of misfortune. And now he's got it all to do, because
28.
Cao Yupeng is just a frame away from the final. And Judd Trump needs the remaining 3 frames to avoid a big upset here and a semi-final exit. Cao, 5-3 up. In their only previous meeting earlier this season in Lommel, Belgium,
Thank you, frame 9.
Judd Trump was all over Cao Yupeng like a rash. Loads of big breaks and a 6-1 victory. Barely broke sweat that day. Today, it's been a very different story. And Cao Yupeng now on the cusp of the biggest win of his life. Just needs one more frame. Trump needs all 3. And in the previous frame, it was this red, which was mighty tough, which cost him. Not just the fact that he missed it, but that double kiss, leaving an easy one for Cao. And the colours waiting.
Yeah, so when he needed a good break off, this isn't it. A let off.
He's been very efficient with pots of that nature today. But of course, he's just one frame away from his first ever major final. So the pressure is a little bit different now. One thing to create an opportunity to win, it's another to take it.
Again, he's pushed the red over the corner, and this time Trump can see it. Cue ball looks to be going into the reds. Got to make sure of the pot. Well, shame it went in, really. Could have done with that over the pocket. To be sure, to be sure. Well, that wasn't a bad shot either. All that right-hand side on the cue ball.
5.
Now, will he play this right-handed or will he play with the rest? I mean, that was an excellent shot with the rest.
Six.
Is he on it? Just a chance, this.
It's been pretty rare in this match that Trump has been in this kind of situation. Black available on its spot. Red's reasonably well spread.
14.
Everything has been a bit of a trial today. Can he get on a roll? He's done it before. He's done it in big matches
21.
before. Very nearly overturned that 5-frame deficit against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the UK Championship
22.
final. Well, he did overturn it, but Ronnie, of course, came up with a great break to win the title in the decider.
When he takes this red, it frees the other one into the opposite corner.
30.
And there could be a couple of reds there that go into this left corner pocket.
$37.
Tried to nudge another one out there, but didn't manage it. But he could go into them here. He doesn't need to. It's simple to play for the red. Well, I don't think he could.
$45. $46.
And that does him a favour. Pink going on to the blue spot. Potted it a little thin, and that's why he's lost the cue ball a little. Now, he could go into them. Look at this again. He just potted it a little thin off that far angle. Lost the cue ball. Now, the red will go to the corner and the right middle, or he could go into them. Wait for it. Oh, dear. Now, can Cao Yupeng pot the red? That's the big question now.
Trump certainly hasn't had a lot of luck in the last couple of frames or so. It all started with that kick just when he was building up ahead of steam and looked as though he could really power on through. Break of 53, but by no means decisive in this frame, but he has to win to keep his hopes alive.
One.
Very unlucky.
Trump will be pinning his hopes on that red on the side cushion.
It. Nine.
This is the first test of Cao Yupeng's ability to be clinical, to get over the line. This is an opportunity to win the match. He certainly looked composed throughout this encounter, even when things have gone against him, when he missed the black, of course, in the fifth frame,
60.
for example. Can he finish the job?
$17.
I think he tried to nudge the red and still come out for this red because it's very close to the cushion, which
24.
makes it a difficult pot. But his heart will be beating like you can't believe right now.
$25.
Well, he's certainly got the angle to get the cue ball to the red. How close can he get it? Oh, he played to knock it out. Well, Trump will be coming back to the table.
32.
I don't blame him for trying to knock it out, but he was guaranteed to have been able to get in behind it. Now, as he fluked the snooker.
32.
He has had some luck, and Trump's had some bad luck. Well, can you believe it? Caught that middle pocket bump and finished up snookered. Big, big trouble. Nothing else safe. I think he's got to play this hard, and if he does hit it, maybe put something safe.
Foul. No miss.
Now, does he take the red on?
Cao Yupeng.
Chance to win the match. He's got to take. He doesn't want to, but he's got to take it on. Well, you could tell that he didn't want to take that red on. Well, he's got away with the attempted pot, but I'm sure Judd Trump is pleased to be back at the table. And a good chance of the snooker here.
So that's a couple of chances that Cao Yupeng has had now to clinch this match and book a place in his first ranking final. Will he get a better one?
I think he can swerve around the brown. But where's it going to go? A chance for Trump. Not the easiest of starters. Anything's missable at this stage. Found the gap between the ball colours, and this is going to work out very nicely.
And that was a very good pot. It was pretty thin. It was missable.
Well, he's got to play the yellow. He'd like to play the pink, but it's missable. Oh, I don't think he's hit it hard enough. He needs a big bounce. He's got it. It's perfect.
Great shot. 2 in a row. Should be a formality now.
5.
16 the difference. Just the green and the brown needed for Trump to stay in the hunt. And just plant that seed of doubt in the mind of Cao Yupeng, who had the chance. He had a couple to take out the match. He's suffering a little, Joe.
Yeah, because he knows that he had that red.
17.
But I think he was going for it in the wrong frame of mind, because he didn't really want to go for it. He wanted to put it back. But it was a chance to win. Should have been positive.
But Trump, 17.
Credit, though, to Trump. He held his nerve. He was granted a reprieve. He's taken it. He's still got work to do, but this match remains on a knife edge. Trump needs the remaining 2 frames. Cao Yupeng needs 1.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a thoroughly gripping first semi-final here at the Scottish Open, and we've still got John Higgins and Neil Robertson to do battle from 7 o'clock this evening. There's some way to travel in this one yet. Cao Yupeng had the opportunity to close it out. Mr. Tricky Red. Had he potted that red every chance, he would have then gone on to complete victory. But Trump held his nerve. And now a possible 2 frames remaining. Will we need them both?
Well, he's short of the baulk cushion for once. So he's left this red on to the right corner. This is the red that he missed in the last frame. Had that red gone in, he'd have been in the final now. Hello.
Fell.
If that had dropped in the middle pocket, it'd have counted.
Cao Yupeng, 4.
It threatened to do so.
Well, look at this again. Now, had that gone in the middle, it'd have been on a maximum. As it is, I think he's left one to the right middle pocket. So a chance for Cao Yupeng. Oh, well, mustn't go, the red. I thought the red would go to the middle. He's considering taking the other red on. Well, he's playing safe off the red, so maybe the red doesn't go to that right middle pocket. Yep, it doesn't go. So Trump was a little fortunate there, and he hasn't played a good safety, Cao Yupeng. Another chance. And he can't keep missing them. That's 2 on the trot. And this time he has left 1. So you know what they say, just give me a chance to win the match.
And overall, Trump's long pot success today remains, for him, decidedly mediocre, less than 50%. Of course, when that part of his game is functioning, the rest follows.
Well, just when he needed a bit of luck, a good kiss, he didn't get it. This is real no man's land. Not on it to the middle, not on it to the corner. Sullivan would take the yellow one. Left-handed, one-handed maybe. Big pressure shot. Yeah, good shot. And he's played position on the red. That was a brave shot, Cao Yupeng.
6. 7.
And he's got reverse side on the cue ball.
14.
Well, look at this again. He's gone into the pack, and when it's hit the cushion, he's got reverse side on it, so he's on a red. Had he had the other side on, it'd have been on nothing. Oh, he's missed the easy red to the middle.
Cao Yupeng, 14.
Well, that is not a good sign for Cao Yupeng. What a reprieve for Trump.
I'm saying easy red. There's nothing easy at this stage. But he'll be deeply disappointed with that.
Awkward cueing for Trump.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah, good shot. Here's the red again. If he gets that, he probably wins because the rest is easy.
Thought about taking up the javelin for a minute there.
Good shot that from Trump. Stun run through off 2 cushions.
8.
What must he be going through at the moment? Can I have that shot back? Please let me have that again.
So now it's down to Trump to take advantage. Well, the pressure is really extreme now.
And we haven't got to the decider yet. Very unusual for Trump to miss middle pockets.
It was a great chance to really punish Cao Yupeng, and it would have hurt the Chinese a lot had Trump made a big break there. But he's straight back at the table. This is awkward, though. It's getting twitchy.
Yeah, easy safety shot here for Trump. And I think this is what he needs, just a couple of shots. Just to settle again. Forget about that red to the middle. For a moment there, I thought he'd left the red. As they left it touching.
Touching ball.
Touching ball call, so dead on the cushion behind the brown looks good. Oh, this is dangerous. He's playing in behind the yellow.
Getting a seg of the two missed.
Looking at playing the same shot as what Yupeng did. Just coming off the cushion, landing up. Oh, he's short. A long way short.
Foul and a miss. Cao Yupeng, 4. All right.
We're talking fractions here. So, well, yeah, I mean, it's about half a millimetre.
That was fine. It's fine now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he had the line of the shot last time round, just didn't hit it hard enough. So, don't know why he isn't playing the same shot again. Shot time approaching 2 minutes, and it looks simple enough to come off the left side cushion and land up into the reds. And I think he's short again. And now he'll be warned.
Foul and a miss. Cao Yupeng, 4.
Yes, you can see the red on the black cushion, full ball, so he's got to be careful now, Trump. Goodness me, what a way to lose a match.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't miss cue.
Well, he's not been warned, has he?
I don't think he has.
Oh, sorry, yeah, must warn you.
Judd Trump has just reminded the referee to remind him that if he misses a red this time, he's going home.
It's easy to lose concentration out there, isn't it? Even for the referees. So, got to hit one. Been a long match for everybody. But engrossing. Yeah, good shot. So another chance. 19 points in front. Again, that was another brave shot to take on. He was leaving reds on.
Yeah, why not? Well, the early stage of this frame was a tale of two misreads into the opposite middle pockets. First Cao overcutting it, but then Judd Trump, as Cao wonders what damage he's done, returns the compliment. And that's just pressure.
Seven.
Just a little strong. He was playing for the red to the right middle. Could still take it to the middle. Or the corner. Well, can't take it to the corner. It doesn't go. Well, I think that's it. There's no more reds that will go. So I've got to play the cannon to the reds. And he's got there. He's got there. And he's a little unfortunate.
40.
Could have been on something a lot easier. He couldn't have gone into them any better. Oh, what a shot this would be into the middle. And that is a beauty. What a shot that was from Cao Yupeng. That was an absolute cracker. And didn't play it for one of the baulk colours, played for the blue.
Could be a match winner.
And he nods. I think he agrees with you.
Judd Trump has given it everything to try and get back into this match. Outplayed in the first half before the interval. Managed somehow to draw level at 3-all.
Well, I agree with you, Philip, that the kick that he got has completely changed the match.
Yes, it was at the start of that 7th frame when Trump was feeling confident again. The long pots had started to flow once more. Cao Yupeng had made an error to leave Trump an easy starter.
I mean, there was a lot of shots since then, but I think that was the start of it. Because, as you say, Trump was on top at that stage.
Well, this was the easy starter I mentioned. It would have been easy had he not got the bad contact. And, of course, Cao went on to win the next 2 frames for 5-3. And now he has created this opportunity to close it out at 6-4. Takes a sip of water.
Yep, he's 46 in front and all the reds are easy. So just got to hold himself together. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. Never been here before in this position. To get into a final, beating a top player. Well, that came very close to missing.
I think there was a bit of tension in the arm there, but it went in.
36.
And now he is so close to the winning line. Still looks calm, but I think there's a lot going on behind that ice-cool demeanour.
Red and a big colour will do it.
$37.
55 the lead. This is match ball. With an easy red to follow. No flicker of emotion from Cao Yupeng, but he'll be feeling very warm inside now. What a match this has been. What an epic battle we've seen here in Glasgow. And now some emotion, just sheer relief, because he knows that red puts the issue beyond any doubt. And what a performance this has been. Cao Yupeng was the heavy underdog coming in, particularly given that Judd Trump had walloped him in the European Masters this season at the same stage. But he's clearly learned a lot from that experience. Trump will be bitterly disappointed. He had high hopes of a 9th ranking title this weekend. He's played some good stuff this week after a couple of disappointing losses in Belfast and then, of course, at the Barbican in York last week. But today, you have to say that the best man has won. Yes, Trump had some bad luck at times, but Cao Yupeng has played in a really mature, composed fashion. He doesn't look like a player who's new to the business end of tournaments. And he's held his nerve when it really mattered here to close out the deal.
Hard to imagine, isn't it, that he only won 2 matches last year. But he's been in a semi-final this year, and now he's in a final.
65.
And now the pressure's off. Everything suddenly seems oh so easy.
67. 69.
Judd Trump will come again, of course. He can now look forward to Christmas and the Masters in the new year. But it could be a very special Christmas time for this guy. The chance to play for the title tomorrow over the best of 17 frames. He finishes with a break of 72. What a terrific match this has been. Judd Trump offers his congratulations. He'll be disappointed. Cao Yupeng will be on cloud 9 because he's made his first ever ranking final here, and he deserves it. A terrific, titanic, epic battle, which has gone the way of the Chinese, ranked 67 in the world by 6 frames to 4.